Tracy from Alive here, and I'm going to be going over Chapter 4 of Dr. Bernard Jensen's book, Guide to Better Bowel Care. Today we're going to be talking about the neural arc reflex, and Dr. Jensen, this is one of his discoveries actually, and I had never heard this term before, so I'm just going to read what he defines it as. And he first goes on to talk about, before I define that, I want to talk about what happened to him. He had a recurring hip and leg pain in his left side that no amount of chiropractic visits or anything else that he was doing could help. And so he started to discover the physiological or physical phenomena of an involuntary response due to some internal stimuli. So an example of this would be if you eat something and then all of a sudden you just have to go to the bathroom afterwards. That is an involuntary response to a stimuli. What is going on there is that your liver is producing bile in response to an irritant or inflammatory thing that you've just eaten or encountered. If it's stress, sometimes it doesn't always have to be what we eat, although oftentimes it is what we eat. So he goes on to talk about how he gave himself, after many chiropractic appointments, he gave himself a barium enema, and he found a pocket of diverticuli in his bowels, and he was able, through a series of enemas, colon hydrotherapy, treatment through increasing fiber in his diet, to actually heal that, and his pain in his hip and his leg went away, which is absolutely phenomenal. He also goes on to talk about when we're formed in the gut, we have, we're sort of tubule when we in our primary stages, and we form little buds that become our kidneys, that become our bladder, that become other organs, and that little bud is formed on a portion of the gut which sort of runs up and down that central nervous system. And so if you have an inherent weakness in a portion of your gut, that can become an inherent weakness in a tissue or an organ. And so it grows out of there, stems out of there, but it can always be traced back to there as well. That's why he talks about the gut is the king of all elimination channels, and why it's so important to keep your gut healthy. So, if you've had physical manifestations of problems in your body, including but not limited to kidney problems, liver, lymphatic, breast tissue, things like that, can always be traced back to issues in the gut, which is a breath of fresh air for a lot of us, because sometimes you keep having issues, or they just you can't find a resolution to an issue, they go to another part of the body. And so if you can clean your gut up, there's a high probability that those problems will, you will find relief from them. He goes on to state here that bowel problems can cause symptoms that mimic a multitude of diseases, and is missed by many doctors. Sometimes pain in the right shoulder stems from a gallbladder issue. I've seen lots of that in my practice. Left arm issue stems from a heart condition. And there are points in your colon that are actually just like reflexology. If you've ever had a reflexology massage on your foot, they can use different points in your feet, especially in Chinese medicine. They'll use that to relieve issues in the body. Your gut is no different. The digestive tract is the great consul of the body, and it can be the creator of harmony or disharmony. So a little bit of food for thought there is that if you are having a problem, it is most likely an issue in the gut, and you've got to trace it back there, because all of our issues stem from the gut. Now, I've gone over only about half of this chapter because I find it so fascinating. I'm going to stop there, but keep in mind that if you have been getting adjustments, or you have been pursuing other modalities of treatment that aren't working, you may need to clean up your gut. That includes eating a lot more fiber, doing things like enemas, more probiotics and good bacteria, colon hydrotherapy, anything you can do to help your gut get clean, which is your second brain. It's the same tissue in your small intestine and your gut that is found in your brain. Anything you can do to clean that area up is going to help you immensely in your quest for health. So I hope you have a great night. I hope I've given you a little bit of food for thought, and we will see you again soon, and we'll finish up the rest of chapter 4. Take care and have a great night.